I'm going to take my rounded filbert brush again. I'm going to do the one stroke treatment from Donna Newberry, where I put the brown paint on one side and the orange paint on the other. And you can see I'm getting a nice blend there, right? That's going to give me immediate depth and that on my hat when I go along here along the edge and add depth. Now, the one thing you need to remember when you're doing this, I've already used up all the paint on this side, right? I turn it over. There's still paint on that side, so I'm going to take it here. And blend that out. See, isn't that nice? I like it. I'm going to do it one more time and go along the cap here, I think. There, that looks nice, right? We also need to do some along here. Very good, very good, very good. I'm so pleased with that, with the way that looks. Very nice. Now, the question I have to ask myself, is there anywhere else right now that I can use this brown and or this orange? And Pueblo. And I'm going to say the answer is probably no. So I've cleaned my brush, and I'm going to get a little bit of gray. In fact, I'm going to have to make my gray. Well, I do have a gray here. Dolphin gray at that. I'm going to put a first coat for his beard down. That just helps later on when we're adding layers. Beards are always a matter of layers. And see, this is just dark enough. I'm just going to lay a nice layer of gray. This does not have to be full in down here. It can be very wispy, because wispy is his beard, right? We're just giving him a base. Got a little bit in the nose, and that's okay. Not a big deal. Nothing to get your panties in a bunch about. I'm going to go up here by the nose again and just get in here real good. Okay. While we're here, we might as well lay down just a couple drops around the nose here, just to get some definition there. I don't know if this is the right brush to have, probably not. See there again, this is just one more layer. One more layer of color. We're deepening our color now here, watch. Now we're adding some shadow underneath the brim of that hat. Well, it's some shadows since I can get paint on my brush. Okay. Right? Don't have much shadow on this side. Yeah, that's good. See? Bring that down into that. I may have just fouled that up, but that's okay. There's no accidents, right? It's only happy accidents. We'll be coming back to cover that up here shortly. Well. I am going to take some of that orange, or I mean the brown, and a little bit of that black that I have. And this corner here is kind of dark. That's where some of our grass is going to live. We don't have to wash our brush too good, too well, but we are going to start applying in some of that grass. And for that, we're going to need a couple colors. We got a green going on, and a marshy green there, and a deeper golden sunset. I think I'm going to add some of that too. And we're just going to come in here and I did teach it with a sponge last time, but this is just as easy, just as quick, and probably far more familiar for you. We'll just go in and add some grass. We can go all the way up to the beard. We can wipe out those flowers because it'll be so easy to draw those back in. We'll go up to the side here. We're going to start mixing in some yellow here, some yellow green. bring that down in here, mellow it out a little bit. See, by the time this green is done and dry, we can go back over for his beard. You can see I'm using these three colors here, this Christmas Kelly green, the marsh green, and this golden sunset, just to lay down some marshy color. You can use the edge of that brush to tap in there along that beard. And we're just going to lay down the same kind of grass effects on this side. We got a little bit of a bush thing going on back here where we have some other flowers. So we're going to say that this is the grass line here. Okay? We're going to let that grass line end there. So before I paint over it, let's not paint over it. We can paint over these flowers because it'll be easy enough to paint those back in, okay? Do not fret. Flowers are our friend and they are easy to work back in. Always paint the sides of your canvas for a finished effect. And you may as well do it with the paint you got in your hand at the time, because if you have to blend colors, it's not often easy to score the same color again, unless, of course, you write it down and are that particular. More power to you, my darling. More power to you. And so now that we've got that grass added in up there, it does get a little light. But I am going to use the black and brown that I've got left over here and some of this gray and work up in here. Maybe even more gray into that background. Careful of the edge of the beard. These are just little bushes. We'll blend that down into that. Little bushes. We'll have our sky going up in there pretty soon. I like that. That looks good. Now, that one, the actual reference picture makes this look a little lighter. I'm going to add a lighter green. Add some more depth here. Take in some of this green and maybe make it a sage in here. Get a dry brush effect, maybe. We'll see how we like that. Try and get some holler at some dark shadows. Just remember when you're a kid, did you ever make tree forts or anything like that and go hide off in the forest? Well, that 97 acres I was talking about was surrounded by a forest. And let me tell you, we had some great adventures. Absolute great adventures growing up. Because our whole property was surrounded by forest, and my father was huge into us making sure that we were involved in sport, or not sports, but scouts. We were a big scouting family, yes we were. Now we can play with all our colors here that we have together. Make it as light and pretty and hardy as possible. He is in the forest, our little woodland gnome, and this happy little birdie has hopped on him. For all we know, it's his buddy, right? For all we know, you know, these gnomes, they have some really important jobs. And if it's his job to take care of those little birdies, you know he's going to